ECHOREX Basterfield, and I'd like to welcome you to a video about my Quilcom ECHOREX. Someone suggested I make a free plugin based on the Binson Echorec, but when I looked into it, there were so many varieties and variations of these echo machines that I've gone for capturing, hopefully, the spirit of the principles behind the Echorec rather than emulating a particular model. One thing in common with all the Binson Echorecs is that they had a rotating drum instead of a tape loop. This meant they were far more dependable, the tapes didn't break or wear out and so on, and they had heads placed around which you could switch in and out according to the delay length and type that you needed. The background info folder contains links and other documents which detail lots of technical information and history of these devices. I watched and listened to loads of YouTube videos about these devices, and bearing in mind they haven't been manufactured for several decades, the condition of some of these is really quite poor and the results sound pretty awful in my opinion. But if you listen to a fully restored one, they can be really nice sounding echo devices. So now I'll give you something of an overview of the plugin, and for all the details please have a look at the user guide. The top panel, which aims to have something of the look of an original Echorec 2, has 6 knobs which are similar to the functions of the Echorec, and a magic eye to show you the internal processing levels before the final volume controls. We have a gain in knob so that we can turn the gain up quite high to drive the internal valve or transistor preamp. The tone control allows you to reduce the treble of the dry and wet signal, which is the same as on the original device. The feedback, dry level and delay level do what you would expect, and one of the things that was used a lot on the Echorec was self-oscillation. So if you turn this, percentage doesn't reflect the amount of feedback, it's just really for the knob position. So here's some feedback. Now you might have noticed that when the self-oscillation starts, it doesn't continue to get louder and louder and louder. What happens is the modelled saturation system limits the maximum amount of feedback signal, and you can still overlay the incoming dry signal onto that feedback. Now the mode switch is quite interesting. The first 2 modes are echo, which is a single repeat. Then we're going to repeat mode. And then the feedback is enabled. Now what's particularly interesting is this halo mode, which on the original English version was called swell, as was the feedback, which is very confusing, and it seems that there was a mistranslation between Halo, which is the Italian on the original machines and the schematics, and the English, which it actually should be Halo. That is a translation into English. It's the same word. The Halo system mixes the output of all four heads with the signal from whatever heads you've got selected, and that adds a quality to it which I don't normally hear on modern digital delay lines. So I'll demonstrate that now by switching between normal repeat mode and the Halo mode. The fewer heads that you have selected, the better the Halo mode actually sounds. If you have all four heads on, then you tend not to really notice the effect so much of the Halo mode. Since this Halo mode is so useful and interesting, I've devoted a tweak panel so you can set the level of the individual heads going into Halo mode, the overall volume, and you can actually send it to the feedback path, which you can't on any of the originals as far as I'm aware. So I'll switch to Halo mode and show you the difference when you add feedback from the Halo from all four heads into the feedback path. Now in echo mode, you can hear the effect of switching in different head combinations. And of course, if you have feedback set, then you get all sorts of strange rhythmic feedback patterns. You can turn the record head on and off at any time you want to, and of course this can all be automated. All the original machines had a very clever permanent magnet erase system, but on this one I've effectively got an erase head that you can turn on and off, and if you turn it off you will get repeat, even with the feedback at 0, every revolution of the drum. And of course every time it passes the record head, the amplitude and the treble gets reduced due to the simulated bias on the record head. Now on the drum and motor tweak panel, you can set the speed of the disc, and this will affect the delay times of the heads. You can also increase or decrease the simulated weight of the drum so that when you change the speed, the change is slower, and you can turn the motor off and on should you wish to. Now, if for some reason you want to simulate an ancient machine which is in need of attention. You've got these two age controls here. One can set the amount of jockey wheel slip, and the other one, the drum surface integrity. On the heads and preamps panel, you can shape the sound, the actual frequency response of the playback channels. So you've got low cut, high cut, and a mid boost where you can set the frequency, and these have quite a control over the timbre that you get back from the echoes. You can set the simulated noise level from the tape head preamps, which are quite noisy on the original. The more heads you have selected, the more noise you get. Binson made one machine, as far as I'm aware, which was stereo, which had two of everything in it. Now this plugin is stereo internally. You can switch between mono in and stereo in, but the machine is always working in stereo. So the slip control can create a difference between the two delay lines. So one will be getting slightly faster and the other one slightly slower, and this gives a rather nice sound field, I think. Well, that's my Quilcom ECHOREX for you, and of course I hope you'll maybe find a bit of creative use for it. And until the next time, bye!